Hello guys, I never go live in here, but I had to go live straight from Rome. I'm at my Airbnb because I have to work in a little bit. So I wanted to come live today to just share, since I am here in, why do these glasses look so big over here? Since I am in Rome, I landed yesterday. I ended up coming to Rome super last minute. I had told everyone, don't come to Rome during the Jubilee. And what do? Come to Rome during the Jubilee and the Conclave, because I wasn't expecting the Pope to pass away. And I snatched a really cheap flight with Condor Airlines. I had never heard of these airlines before. They're based in Germany. They just celebrated their 70-year anniversary. I even tried to pitch them a collab, which didn't work out. But I did this upgrade for the flight for $101 for premium economy, and it was the most spacious seat. It was the best flight. So it did have a connecting flight, which I usually don't like connecting flights, but when you start getting into high season, it's hard to find direct flights to Italy. Especially with being last minute on the budget. So I decided to come to Rome super last minute. My boss doesn't even know. I do work remote, but really cool thing happened to me today. I was actually interviewed by CNN Brazil Live because I saw the Brazilian flag. I'm originally from Brazil. I saw a lot of people with the Brazilian flag yesterday at the Vatican. And I'm like, our flag is so pretty. I wish I had the flag. So I actually found a souvenir shop near the Vatican before the Brazilian consulate, and I bought the flag. So the flag helped me get seen by the CNN journalist, and she interviewed me, and we were just laughing because I mentioned the whole remote work thing and how my boss doesn't know. He's probably going to see this soon here now that I'm posting here. But boss, I'm up to date with my work. I get my stuff done. Let me put my glasses, see if anyone's here live or catching the replay. So I wanted to talk a little bit about yesterday, about what's happening in Rome, and just the overall vibe, right? So I arrived pretty late yesterday. I was a little flustered because my connecting flight in Germany, I kind of got lost track of time. I was too busy distracted with the nap pods that I posted a reel about. So the connecting flight, when we arrived, it was already boarding. So I was a little flustered. When I got to Rome, I was actually able to get a van, which was half the price of an Uber. And the van dropped me off right next to Airbnb. I did get a little lost. So I booked an Airbnb really outside of Rome city center this time, just because the trip is so last minute. So live from Rome. Hey, Yamila. So I booked, since this trip is so last minute, my stay is further away from Rome city center. I'm about 27 minutes walking to the Vatican. But by bus, it's really quick, and the bus tickets are so cheap. So I actually rode the bus today and then rode the bus back. So I'm live from Rome, and I wanted to just share some things yesterday and today. So first of all, I'm not Catholic, I'm Christian, but it's such a historical moment. And for someone who covers Italy a lot in her blog, once I saw my flight was $560. Once I saw that cheap flight, I just had to come. So hey Monica, what's up? So I arrived last night, and I thought I was going to miss the first smoke signal. So I'm here in Rome, and the smoke signals are supposed to be at noon and at 7. But since yesterday was the first day of the voting, they would vote only twice, and there would be one smoke signal. It was supposed to be at 7 p.m. I arrived, I think, around 7:20 p.m. at the Vatican. So before you get to the Vatican, if you have a book bag, they will inspect your bag. They will ask you to open your bag. And then there's metal detectors. And of course, a lot of security, a lot of police. So I actually like that a lot, that there's metal detectors to enter the Vatican. So one thing that really surprised me yesterday was, so there was about 45,000 people, they said, right? But for the Pope's funeral, it was 100,000 people. No, 200,000 people. So one thing that I really liked yesterday was there's a lot of people, but there's so much space. You could really roam about. I got very close to the middle, and they also have screens all around for the smoke signal. So there was a lot of waiting. People would start randomly clapping, and I'm do you guys think this clapping is going to help them decide faster? I don't think so. So we were very surprised about the delay yesterday, and I hope this connection's okay. Monica, you're still here? Can somebody just let me know if the connection's okay, that you could hear me and see me? If somebody could just type it out, that would like be amazing because I don't usually go live here, but I do have really good Wi-Fi at the Airbnb. So hopefully everything's okay. So yesterday there was a 2-hour delay. Usually when there is a delay means that they're like reaching a conclusion of a pope. So there was speculation that the new pope would be announced yesterday. I mean, I didn't personally think so, but once they started delaying over an hour, I thought, oh, maybe it'll be today, but it wasn't. But then I read up on why delays can happen. So there are 133 cardinals, right, that get to vote. It was going to be 135, but 2 kind of left on sick leave. Something happened. So only 20-something% of the cardinals voting now have voted before in another conclave. So this is all new to them. So imagine 133 people having to vote. They're still getting their bearings. So that's why there was so much delay. So you have a mix of really young cardinals too. There's some cardinals that just became cardinals now in December. So you have a mix of these people, the majority, 80% more than 80% of these people have never done this before. They're getting their bearings. They're, getting votes. And supposedly the first round of votes, there's just a lot of voting for people you admire, kind of just honorable mentions or honoring somebody. So that's why typically the new pope doesn't get voted on the first day. So today's the second day. So from today on forward, they will vote 4 times, but there will be smoke twice, 2 smoke signals. So they vote twice in the morning. And the smoke signal today was supposed to be at noon. I arrived 11:54. I was still going through the metal detector and they already had announced it. So today they were early, 10 minutes early. And yesterday they were 2 hours behind. So they're behind because these cardinals are new. They're still getting their bearings. Also, you have a couple of really elderly cardinals. So in order to vote, you need to be under 80. But there's a couple of a few of them are very, elder. And they actually have to physically get up and vote. And some of them will refuse help. So they have, and if you watch the conclave, you could have seen this. They have to each get up and vote. And the ballot gets actually burned. So every time there's a ballot and you go up and you take your vote, it's actually burnt. And then remember, white smoke means they have a pope. Black smoke means they don't have a pope. So when I arrived today, people were already leaving and people were saying, fumata neri, black smoke already. So what I did was I walked around a little bit in the Vatican and then I looked to buy a Brazilian flag because I really wanted a Brazilian flag. I'm from Brazil. So many people wearing the flag here. So it was really cool. And I found a souvenir shop near the Brazilian consulate. So I went around, saw some of the journalists. I was trying to find the Catholic Traveler because I love his content. I've been up to date in a lot of conclave things thanks to his content. And I hope to see him tomorrow. The interesting is once you arrive at the Vatican, there's no Wi-Fi. So they cut off your service. And I guess because a few things, right? Because of fake news, they want to protect the secrecy, and also they want views on their channel. That's really what I think it is, because they're the only ones streaming live, right? But so those are some of the reasons for the delay yesterday. Now, will they choose one tonight? I don't know. I think it might be tomorrow. If it's tonight, I think it's great because then I don't have to be on call. And since I do work remote and my boss doesn't even know I'm here, that would be a lot better for me, to be honest. But the cool thing about a last minute trip solo is how flexible my plans are. So Saturday, I'm already arranged plans to go to Tuscany last minute, found a really cheap stay, $50-something stay on Saturday, which is great because since my Airbnb here in Rome is already covered, I could afford that. I could afford the train ticket and that. And I just think I'm just super grateful for my husband and my kids. I'm not even going to be there on Mother's Day to allow me, right? Or support me. I shouldn't say allow, support me for me to travel and, to come on this trip last minute. So I'm super grateful. And I was interviewed for CNN Brazil Live, which is really cool. Hello, Luisi. Sinada, I don't know who's there. So I was interviewed for Brazil, CNN Live. Fui entrevistada pelo Brasil Live, CNN Brasil ao vivo. Parece 9 horas da manhã hoje no horário do Brasil, porque eu tô aqui em Roma, na Itália. Just speaking Portuguese here because I see someone from Brazil just joined. So yeah, so What I loved is how much space there is in St. Peter's Square. How it's so safe, like, and I kind of really enjoyed staying outside of the city center. This is the first time I actually did something like this because it was so last minute, and because it's the Conclave, the prices are really pricey and expensive. So I had to find some place more affordable, and it was further out. So it's about 27 minutes walking to the Vatican, or like it's 6 stops on a bus. So the bus has been really easy to go. The overall feeling so far it's just like really peaceful. Like it's not, I don't feel like I'm emotional, maybe because it's because I'm not Catholic and I'm here more for like the historical significance, the economical, political, and also like it's such an interesting thing, right, that happens, and it's historical. And since I cover a lot of Italy content, like it just made sense for me to be here. So I'm feeling peaceful, and I think once it all does happen, I think it's going to be an emotional experience. And the top contenders are the guys from Italy are kind of up there. The guy from the Philippines, the cardinal from the Philippines, one from Ghana, and even one American. But I really think it's the Italian one. I think Pizzaballa is going to get it, or the other one, Zuppi. I think it's Zuppi, because they're all like pizza and soup. That's what it sounds like. But I think it's going to be the Italians. Anyway, I just wanted to come over here, share a little info. So again, a lot of security. You have to go through metal detectors. If you are in Rome and want to stop by the Vatican later, message me before. Because once you get to the Vatican, there's no Wi-Fi, which actually was really cool yesterday. Like for 2 hours, nobody could bother me. It was kind of like a relief. Because like now in life, there were like all these notifications and Slack and email and all this stuff. It can create some anxiety. So it was kind of refreshing. And it was also really interesting to see what people did to pass the time. So I'm going to put up a video today of the random things I saw people doing to pass the time while they waited for the papal election. So the voting of the new pope. But anyway, thank you guys for joining. I hope this live gets saved here so we could Hey, Sami, what's up? Live from Rome from my Airbnb. So I hope this saves here so you guys could just keep up to date on the latest, and also follow me on TikTok if you're not. Thank you guys.